Well, willkommen, Huanan, and welcome to SAF1's Season 4. It's time for Race 3 tonight, and we're about to get underway at the Portimao circuit in Portugal. We are, like I say, round 3, and I'll take you through the current standings as we go. But my name is Webbo. I'm here to take you through our race today, and welcome to anybody joining us on the stream, and we look forward to hearing from you on the live chat. In terms of the championship, no surprises to see. Mad Trav will be in the lead on 69 points. Quentin is second on 51, and Phantom has 50 points. Quentin and Phantom shared the podium with Mad Trav last week out in Japan, but it was Phantom ahead of Quentin last week. Dom Rabico is fourth on 42 points. Duxter is on 40. Tiago 31. And Not Shumi in seventh on 30 points. Mercedes and Ferrari are level at the head of our championship, both with 81 points, followed by Red Bull, McLaren and Alpine. We've had a few technical difficulties, so a big thank you to everybody who has just decided to tune in. I hope you enjoyed last week's race, and we hope to give you more of the same. And it's a fabulous addition to the F1 circuit collection, this Portimao circuit. First out of the pits looks to be, I think it's Zardi out there, and as usual, tend to give the first on-track lap view to the guy who gets out of the blocks first. We've got soft tyres on all the cars currently. Mad Trav might do what he did last week and try and qualify on those medium tyres, and it worked out beautifully for him. Zardi just going through the tyre warming phase. Not a lot of that needed at the Portimao circuit, given the high-speed corners and big stops on the preparation lap. We've got dry qualifying, and the latest I'm hearing is that there will be rain in the race, and the track may dry up towards the end. So we're mouth-watering prospect of mixed conditions for our Grand Prix this evening. Q1 is underway. We have 16 minutes remaining, and just going through to the final banked right-hander of turn 15 is Zardi. He's going to need to step on it in a moment. I think he's let his teammate go on by. Zardi then down the start-finish straight, which is anything but straight topographically. Up and down and down and up we go. In fact, he's invalidated that one. So let's join Aimi here as he races towards turn 3. Big stop into turn 3, and then a very tricky traction zone of turn 4. Very easy to lose the rear end on the way through there, and we head down the hill to the lowest point of the circuit, turn 5. You may hear me refer to this one as the Rolex hairpin for obvious reasons when we watch on off-board cameras. Through into turn 6 and 7 as we slow the car into the crest apex of turn 8. Ride over that curb and prepare yourself for a almost flat turn 9. Then the turn 10 becomes a braking zone into 11. Lots of trail braking needed here, and a good clean setup. Drag the car over the crest of turn 12, and 13 is a tight hairpin uphill, so we can brake late, and then through the parabolica like turn 14, 180 degree corner, and all that's left to do is tackle this Zandvoort similar right-hander with banking. Avoid the inside curb, especially in the wet, and it's full throttle all the way to the line. Aimi with the first time lap of 17.130, and let's have a look and see who else is putting in the laps. Phantom 16.491, and Mackett a 16.9 gets ahead of Aimi as well. Mad Trav appears to be on track. He's actually chosen the mediums, the soft tyres right now, so not feeling quite so brave as last week. I know he's similar to the previous 2 weeks. He has downplayed his chances in the championship, but and his chances of performing tonight. He said he's hardly done any practice and all the other kind of driver bingo pre-race excuses that you're used to hearing from the drivers, but on a lap right now and doing the job. Let's see how his times are compared to the top times. Phantom, Mackett and Imi, the only drivers who've posted times right now. Sprinting then towards the line goes the Mercedes driver up to P2 on soft tyres, 3/10 behind Phantom currently. Viking pops in a time. It's a safe banker, but that's about all we can say about it on an 18.562. As Simps comes in just ahead. Top Dog, who hasn't so far lived up to his gamer tag, and hopefully he'll be able to put in a good performance here. This is one of those tracks that really separates the drivers who are able to put in practice. There's not a lot of year-on-year learning that can be applied here. This is all fresh, and how much time have the drivers had to commit to practicing for this race this week and in similar league races that they might be tackling. So Top Dog about to finish this lap. There's a yellow in sector 1. We'll ignore that for now, probably just cars getting out of each other's way. We have 20 drivers for you tonight. A 16.970 is Top Dog's attempt, and that's kind of middle of the pack right now. Quintin, top 3 in the championship, top 3 on the race last week, putting in the laps right away. I must also say that Kimi joins us down there, listed as 20th place at the moment. Kimi definitely will be a strong runner if his form from another league I commentate on it translates well. He held the pole position last night. And across the line then for Quintin is a P5, 16.941. Interestingly, we've got 2 drivers, Hamrick and Calvin, who've gone for the medium tyres there, and have got ahead of Viking. What's Xander up to? Xander has got Quintin ahead, who gets out of the way and just oversteps turn 4 exit, possibly. Question mark, has he been hampered there? I'm not assuming he will be slightly hampered by that run down into turn 1, which is you just drop 2 gears to drag the car into turn 1 and hang on tight to the steering wheel across the turn 4 blind corner, especially if they're using cockpit cam, which I don't imagine many of our drivers are doing. It's a brave man who uses cockpit cam. Purple first sector for Not Shumi, should just be his own time as it's his first attempt on a lap. Now this smooth flowing sector of the racetrack. Yellows flashing up and down as usual. Not Shumi will be begging that Alfa Romeo to either get a move on or get out of the way. There he goes, out of the way quite comfortably. So Not Shumi, 2 corners to go. Turn 14. Progressively apply the throttle through the exit of turn 14, and then you need to be set up for a blind apex. And a short run to the line for Not Shumi. That's good enough for 8th right now. Mackett, I think, has come back out for another one. Another run. Matty in the Red Bull, Quintin's teammate, on a lap. Letting the other drivers sweep the circuit clean. And playing it cool is Matty. Kimi goes P7 on medium tyres, the highest medium runner by far. So just showing his pace, and I'll be interested to see just how many drivers are brave enough to go for those mediums. To the line then for Matty. It's good enough for 12th only, so needs to find a little bit more speed. We saw Zardi invalidate his lap on his first attempt, and such was the trip through the warm-up phase that he felt he'd lost the tyres and couldn't go around for another one. It's a purple middle sector for him, of course, on his first attempt. You can see him short shifting to get the car out of the corners, almost a manual version of traction control using the upshifts. Into 8th gear, bit of DRS, and P12 for Zardi at this stage. The top three are Phantom, Madtrav and Simps, all waiting in the pits, but quickly beaten there by Mackett, who gets a 16.382. Where's that one come from? Great performance so far. I'm pretty sure Matty is on his way into the pits. What's Duckster up to? He has invalidated this lap, unfortunately. So we'll try and find you a driver actually attacking the lap. It is Jaden. Jaden is screaming towards turn 1 in the Alpine. I don't know if this is lag or a driver not really pushing. I think this is a driver not really pushing, don't you? 2 laps on the mediums. I think he's had enough and won't go further right now. Viking has invalidated. Tiago, how's Tiago getting on? One of our 2 drivers in the field are yet to post a time. So the pressure's starting to build down into the hairpin, the bottom of the hill, turn 5. And back uphill again goes Tiago. Welcome to Shalin and to Nadim in the live chat. Tell me who you're here to support and who you're cheering on, or who you predict to win if you're fairly neutral. Maybe predict someone other than Madtrav. Tiago, purple middle sector for him. Getting the car in. Our top 4 still not attacking the laps. Dom Rabico in his traditional P45 position right now, 5th at the moment on a 16.938. McLaren doing well out of the start of this qualifying session, and we've got 7 minutes to go as Tiago races towards the line. 17.581 down into 13th place, and Shellin is here for Jaden, and currently Jaden, where is he? He's in 9th place on medium tyres currently, but maybe pushing for more. Dom Rabico is going round onto a 3rd lap on the soft tyres, and if he posts a good lap here, that's not going to do him any favours in the race strategically. He'll be starting on very well scrubbed softs. Simps is on a lap, so let's just see where Dom Rabico's first sector comes in. It's slightly faster than he's been before. Let's watch Simps, who's on fresh tyres. Oh, almost oversteering into the corner. It was mentioned to me that he was lagging something chronic, so we may not be able to really satisfyingly watch him. It's going to cause everybody a little bit of nausea, so let's go back to Dom Rabico, and he's about to cross the 2nd sector time. Dom Rabico 2/10 faster than he's been before on these 3-lap old soft tyres. It's quite a good performance. Maybe he knows something everybody else doesn't. Dom Rabico, 2/10 could get him into the top 3 here. And Nadim here is for Phantom and Jaden, and also for Kimi. Obviously some friends with those drivers. Dom Rabico gives up that one. Didn't want to complete the lap for obvious reasons on those tyres, but proving to himself he's got the pace, perhaps, as Quintin is 0.06 quicker than he's been before through sector 2, and just finishing off the lap. The top 3 still waiting in the pits, still reluctant to go out for their final run maybe. Yeah, definitely hear what you're saying, Nadim. It's Madtrav's pace is always pretty special, and I've only done 2 races with SAF1, and I know that much. Mackett though has the pole position currently. Quintin P5 16.892. Rai is he? No, he's not on a lap. Anybody actually running a lap right now? We've got some out laps going on. Phantom and Madtrav. I'll try and catch them as soon as possible. Is that Phantom just about to start the lap? No, it's his teammate. So no good for that one. Is Xander actually going to manage to get a lap in here? He's invalidated again, unfortunately. Calvin, 0.2 faster through the first sector, though. Just losing the traction slightly. Oh, the traffic is really going to cause problems acting up like this. But Calvin making it work, 0.8 faster than he's been before. He's currently got an 18.279 and getting a lot more speed out of this run. The front washing out slightly on the way into turn 13 hairpin. Maybe he's used the best of the fronts on these tyres. So nothing to do now but point the car in the right direction and keep the right foot posted. It's P12 for Calvin with a big improvement, but not quite there in terms of the top 10. Phantom is attacking his next bid for pole. DRS on the run down to turn 5. He's gained a 10th so far, and that would be enough to see him on pole. So it's that tight, and can he consolidate this run and rely possibly on Mackett not improving? Madtrav also on a lap. We'll see where he's at shortly. Let's just see what Phantom's managed to get here. Phantom currently ahead of Madtrav on the grid. About to cross the line though. He's lost about half of his gain previously. So let's have a look at Madtrav as he navigates. How's this lap looking? We're about to cross the beam and it's nearly 0.2 faster. Not quite enough to see him take that second place on the grid, let alone first place. Phantom then to the line. Sims has been disqualified, but Phantom, a 1/10 improvement, just gets within 7 thousandths of Mackett's best time. Mackett hasn't come out of the pits yet, playing it very cool. Madtrav for the line, a 1/4 second improvement, but not enough to see him up on the front row just yet, and I think his run is done. I'm waiting to try and get no yellow flags. Jaden P4, a 16.650 on medium tyres, very, very nice indeed. And it looks to be time to finish this off. There's 1 minute 41 seconds remaining of our session. Asking me about the Max and Lewis incident. I'm not taking that bait, Nadeem, and I think Shellin is correct to avoid the subject. Yeah, let's not go there tonight. Let's enjoy our SAF1 racing. So Jaden just bringing the car into the pits, I believe. But let's watch Kimi, because Kimi's gone back out on medium tyres and attacking the racetrack. Long right-hander pointing up the hill. We're into turn 9, now 10 and 11 come at you very quickly, reminiscent of turn 9 in Bahrain, and unfortunately that was the undoing of Kimi, who drops down to 15th and will go no faster and do no more laps in this session. Kimi spectacularly out of this one, but Matty not out yet. He's in P11. I'm pretty sure I've seen Matty give up a top 10 starting position to get the best strategy, so I wonder if we'll see him do that again. Calvin has retired as well, so not great for our fan club on the live chat, seeing Kimi and Calvin out, but Jaden's up there in P4. Madtrav has retired from the session, will not do any more, and I don't think Mackett is going out. I think he's run out of time to defend his pole. Matty is giving up on the lap and will not go any further up here. Not Shumi has invalidated, but here we have something of a rarity. It's a driver still pushing in the qualifying session, and away he goes then. Dom Rabico, let's see where this lap takes him. Just steps outside of the bounds of the racetrack, and that's that lap done, unfortunately. Jaden on his way into the pits. And let's see, anybody else out there? Just Tiago left and Aimee. So Tiago finishing the lap here. Vikings retired. Several drivers finishing this one up. So Tiago from P16 needs a good jump. So 4/10 to the place ahead of him, Kimi. Tiago then, the track at its best, it's a 14th position. It's a 1/10 improvement. Up he goes into 14th place, And I think that is our grid run. We saw Jaden earlier heading on into the pits. So it's Mackett getting the pole, a 1:16.382 to Phantom's 1:16.389, and Madtrav in third. Then a little gap to Jaden's fast time, but Jaden looking good on those medium tyres to start with, although a wet starting condition race will of course do away with anybody's choice. Rye and Jaden's attempts to get an advantageous strategy up there in the top 10 will be undone if we have wet tyres or wet conditions. So, as I said before, Mackett getting that pole position. Phantom second by 7 thousandths of a second, and that's super close. Very close as well to Madtrav, who was only 900ths away from the pole. Jaden in P4, followed by Top Dog, Quintin, Don Rabico, Not Shumi, Rai, Aimi, Duckster, Matty, Calvin, Tiago, Kimi, Hamrick, Xander, Zardi, Viking and Simps make out your full 20 car grid here in SAF1. Just a quick word of thanks here to our sponsors, and they are Rabico Holdings, DR Developments and Quintessential Photo and Video Works, without whom we wouldn't go racing tonight. So a big thank you to them. I'm just checking out for anybody's debriefs that they might furnish me with, but it looks like we've got some dry conditions at least to the start of this one, so those medium runners will have the most flexible option when it comes to it looks like everybody actually qualified on the softs for their fastest time, so very, very interesting. We lost the bottom 6 drivers and we go through to Q2, featuring the top 14 and the track continuing to evolve, of course, through here. So the drivers using mediums, we're just saving tyres for the next part of qualifying. Top Dog has made it out of the pits first. Just 15 minutes, 14 remaining of our Q2 session. And Top Dog's Aston Martin looking pretty good in the sunshine at Portimao. Simps is saying he's moving to the living room. I don't know if that's starting up a new system and joining in quali with a different option. Maybe he's got a wired connection in the living room, who knows. Top Dog just warming up the car, getting everything ready to attack the first flying lap here. You heard the beep for DRS. Fabulous surroundings here at the Portimao circuit. Gritting his teeth through turn 1 at the exit. You could almost feel the loss of traction. A big lift, frankly, through turn 4, just to settle the car down into 5. Then the hairpin. Car feeling pretty good. Careful throttle application, sounds very much like a driver in tune with his car's capabilities and setup. Across the apex, pick your exit point because you can't see it. And we're finishing up this lap now. The final hairpin, this parabolica turn 14, and then just a flat out turn 15, certainly flat in the dry, with good tyres on. Short run to the line, and Top Dog First time out there is a 16.927, and nicely done by him. Just about to cross the line, I think, is Mackett. No, it's his teammate. Forgive me. So we go Dom Rabico pole provisionally. Quentin 17.3 and Phantom an 18.2. Early laps, but not the best. Here's the previous session's fastest driver, Mackett, and he does a 125.995. I assume that he's bringing those tyres into temperature steadily. Imey about to finish the lap. He's got a Williams in front of him, but not close enough to be a problem. To the line then, Imey, a 27.6, so possibly doing a similar run to Mackett. Not Shumi's not really on a lap, but Matty definitely also is not. He's going very slowly. Come on, guys, help a commentator out here and do some hard runs. Tiago is pushing, and we've seen a driver lose the car in that position already tonight. And Tiago held on gamely to the car, but unfortunately I would say this lap is run. Yeah, just trying to get himself a nice gap, let the drivers on fast laps behind through, which is very sporting of him. Duxter doing well on this lap so far, just about being in the top 10. Duxter for the Alpine team. To the line then, and it is a second place all Alpine front row provisionally. Jaden 16.4, Duxter 16.5, and those times are almost as quick as we saw in the previous session already, with 9.5 minutes to run. Everyone's put in their first time. Dom Rabico has had enough and possibly off to get a refreshment and get himself ready for Q3. Fancies a nice break. He's retired in the pits. I wonder if Matty is going round to do another lap. He is, but he's invalidated. What about not Shumi? Yes. Seems to be pushing again. Maybe not. Taking it very steady. Mackett is 2.5 seconds faster through this sector. So is he running this one? Remember, these are the starting tyres for the drivers. Mackett on his second lap on the softs, up to P4. So he's going to have to treat these tyres very carefully. Very well worth remembering that he's done, if he doesn't beat that 16.7, his tyres have done an extra lap to everybody else. Lots of in-laps going on, but maybe not for Tiago. Remember, Ferrari and Mercedes tying at the top of our championship currently, although it's only round 3, so a little bit early to read any meaning into the standings just yet. I think Tiago's just bringing the car home to the pits quickly. On track currently only the Ferraris, one McLaren on his in-lap. We've got not Shumi on an in-lap, and I assume I've got a Williams on the track map. It's Calvin and Phantom are starting their outlap, so let's join Calvin. He'll be the first one currently on an outlap. Mad Trav is out the pits as well, so we'll try and watch those three drivers through their flying laps. Let's ride with Calvin and get a feel for how the car is handling. Heads towards turn 1. Pick your turn in point. that look possibly slightly late, but best to avoid that sausage curb on the inside. Getting the car comfortably into turn 3. Nicely done. So how's the first sector looking? It's a quarter of a second better than he's been before. Phantom is still on an outlap, so we'll carry on riding with Calvin here and get an idea of Phantom's lap shortly. Calvin holding onto this car very nicely. Needs to be gentle on the throttle application up the hill here, and did lose the car slightly, so far from ideal. Still almost a right angle turn through there, and he's now half a second faster through this sector. Phantom is 0.6 of a second faster, so these two are going to be competing for the pole position time here. What about Mad Trav as he crosses the first timing beam, just 0.2 faster than he's been before. Back to Calvin then as he finishes lap off. And racing for the line, Calvin goes up to P6. Let's go back to Phantom. Has gained a huge amount through the middle sector. Medium tyres for Phantom. Would really love to qualify for Q3 just on mediums alone. I think that's what Mad Trav is trying as well. Finally gets that 8th gear, and P5 a 16.719. Back down to Mad Trav then and see how he finishes his lap off. Losing the rear slightly, perhaps not quite gripping in just yet. It's going to affect his run all the way through 15, but a 17.062 for Mad Trav puts him P7, and I don't know if that's safe just yet as the track continues to evolve in our second qualifying session. Quintin P6 up there. Phantom staying P5 at the moment, but Mackett coming into the pits. Jaden goes a new pole position on a 16.0, and now we're talking, we're getting the fastest times of the evening. Duxter, I think, is not on a hot lap right now. Pretty sure we just saw Quintin finishing up his lap. So I'll do my best to find you a driver who's actually attacking. Is it Imi? Imi has invalidated sadly, but may just be on the start of a new lap. It's towards turn 1. That was smooth, right to the very limit, but seemed to be in control the whole time. Calvin's saying he got floor and barge board damage. I don't know if he means from Q1, but I don't think damage carries on. Rye then, faster still, in P5, just opposes Phantom down to P6 there, and the leaders, the top drivers all heading into the pits to prepare for their final runs. Hello to Lord Mahavir. Good to have you on the chat with us. Who are you predicting for the race win tonight? Matty in P14 on the soft tyres, so wants to get up there into Q3 if he can. To the line then for Matty, and good enough for 12th, currently not safe and very much in the knockout zone. Duxter in the first sector of his next one. Lord Mahavir is a fan of Jaden as well. Got a lot of love for Jaden tonight. Duxter with a big oversteer moment and possibly some connection issues, struggling through there, and I don't think this one's going to be much quicker. He's also on 4-lap old softs, so doesn't want to start the race on those tyres. Definitely needs to target beating his lap first. So we've just got right on the way in the pits, and we've got some outlaps begun already, which is good to see. I think Mackett is out there behind. Phantom has decided, wow, interestingly, Phantom has decided that 6th position is safe. So let's hope he doesn't live to regret that decision. Looks like Mad Trav is on track just behind here, not Shumi, but I think Mad Trav might be a good driver for us to watch his next attempt and final attempt. Calvin's saying he doesn't know. He said no contact this session, but doing his in-lap he's noticed he's on different shades of green on his OSD, so very interesting. Mad Trav well within track limits there through turn 1. So picking the perfect turn-in speed. Big wide line on the way out of 4. Very, very close to invalidation, but doing a good job. Looking very smooth and in control. Mad Trav in the second sector, looking good at the moment. So very, very in control. Tiny correction, but 3/4 of a second faster than he's been before here. Soft tyres now. There's no trying to make it through on worse tyres. So almost done with the lap. Through the final corner goes Mad Trav. Points the car at the finish line, and what is it? It's a P2, 16.095, and we're getting those super tight laps in at the top. Mackett not so much right now, but he's already done the work to get through, I think, and Quintin doesn't like this lap, and he's going to hope to be safe. Let's see what our drivers in the danger zone are doing at the moment. Thiago's come in the pits, so he won't get out of 14th place. Imi, similarly, the checkered flag has fallen, and I think that is our drivers have been eliminated, and Calvin is a big scalp here. P11, maybe he'll be not too unhappy starting P11, first of the free choice tyre runners, of course. So into the pits come the drivers, and we should have Q2 over and done with now. We'll be losing Calvin, Imi, Matty and Maestro, but Jaden, Mad Trav, Mackett, Duxter, Don Rabico, Wright, Phantom, Quintin will all take Q3 in the battle for pole position. So Calvin, Imi, Matty and Thiago out, but the finishing order very different to what we saw in Q1. Jaden, Mad Trav, Mackett, Duxter, Dom Rabico, Rye, Phantom, Quintin, Top Dog and not Shumi. And Phantom, interestingly, did manage to progress through that one on medium tyres, so that's going to be very interesting, especially if he's up there in the front row as he was in previous races. It's definitely going to be in a good place to start this race on mediums. Hope you're enjoying the race tonight. If you are, please give us a like on the video in between sessions and subscribe to the SAF1 channel. You can also follow us on Twitter, and the links are at the top of the live chat if you so wish to. 12 minutes is all we get for Q3, so I'm anticipating the drivers will be coming out pretty quickly to tackle this one. And there we see first, I think, Red Bull making his way out of the pits. It's Quintin, but beaten out of there by, I think, one of the Alpines and a Haas. He's had to get out of the throttle. It's Ferrari of Phantom out first, and a good place to start qualifying. Make sure that you're dealing with the minimal traffic. But if you want to get 3 runs in Q3, you're going to have to get on with it. More than likely, it'll be 2 runs for everybody. So, just riding the roller coaster over the Portimao track goes the Ferrari of Phantom. We'll see 2 McLarens and 2 Alpines, as well as 2 Aston Martins take to this session. But in our championship leading teams of Ferrari and Mercedes, a single car representing those teams in Q1. So Phantom still sporting that Williams tribute helmet there. Here we go then for Q3, first lap from one of the most likely drivers to be up there. Let's ride with him. He's got a car up ahead in an Aston Martin on an outlap, and I wonder if that will provide a bit of a tow at some stage. No, out of the way he goes, and a 21.8 is his first sector. And the Phantom will be starting the race on medium tyres, and the only driver to start on mediums inside the top 10. But we reset the tyre allocation, and they can just do whatever they want with these tyres now in Q3. Burn through them. It's all about who can go the very fastest. Oh, it looks like Phantom is slowing slightly. I don't think he's happy with this one. Feels like he's made a mistake, maybe. So, will we complete the lap and set a time regardless? Yes, we will. Phantom heading to the line then. What's this one going to be? It's an 18.949, much slower than we've seen in Q1 and 2. So, it's not working this time. Top Dog beats him, quickly beaten by Ribe, quickly beaten in turn by Mackett. But what about Mad Trav, championship leader at this early stage of our championship? Has he got anything to say about this starting order? Duckster, P2. Mad Trav heading to the line then, and it's pole, potential pole, a 16.210. And let's ride with Jaden, given that he's got such support with him tonight. Just timing it for a 2-run go at Q3. Purple first sector for Jaden. Just ignoring the McLaren of Mackett off the line, and Jaden purple middle sector as well. This could well be our first pole position posted in this Q3, and I wonder, will anybody get into the 1 minute 15s to show some fairly unreal pace? To the line then for Jaden, and yes, it's a 16.120, just 1/10 away from his fastest in the previous one. Not Shumi completes his lap on a 17.3, and those are your first runs. Jaden with the first blow from Mad Trav and Phantom, then Mackett, Don Rabico, Duckster, Rye, Quintin, Top Dog, and Shumi. 1.2 seconds separating first to 10th, and less than a second separating first to 9th. Stay tuned, more to come from the drivers on these laps, and I'll wait for anybody who can start their outlaps. We may have a small lull, just enough time to go and like the video, of course. So, nice lap, but not unbeatable as far as tonight's performances go. Jaden 16.1, we have seen some 16-0s already, but something at least to build on for Jaden, and not many people will manage to beat that in their second runs, I don't imagine. Looks like we've got an Aston Martin and a Haas on their way out of the pits. It's all about timing that run, because you make you come out too late and you're caught in traffic, or you miss the flag altogether too soon and the track's not ready for you. Shellin predicting a 1:15.8 for pole. Yeah, I like that. I'd love to see it. Let's try and find a driver just heating up some tyres, at very least looking a little bit more active on track than an in-lap. Really getting down to it now. These are the final runs, just beginning of our Q3. Behind Rye will come Top Dog, then Don Rabico and Duckster. Got Quentin on his way out of the pits next as well. The other drivers just playing it cool, getting their new tyres on, being backed into the pits unnecessarily. Here we go then for Rye's next attempt, 16.666. Unfortunate time. Very nicely into the apex of turn 3. Little short shift to hold the car steady through 4. And he's quicker. Going well through sector 1. What about Top Dog? It's his first sector, looking slightly quicker, but not as good as right through here. I think that was Don Rabico, wasn't it? Who hasn't yet started his lap. In fact, he's letting another car by and might be headed into the pits. No, just getting overtaken, Don Rabico on the track. 1.143 quicker is right, which would see him up into the P4 area, possibly P3 if he can just gain slightly through this final sector. Out comes Mackett from the pits, but right for the line, and a big jump up to P4 for the Haas driver. Very nicely done. It was Top Dog was next. Let's see what Top Dog's up to. Quarter of a second improvement, but still only good enough for P8, unfortunately for him. So nothing major, no major jump there. Duckster for the Alpine team has been quick tonight, currently P7. A reminder that Phantom will start the race on mediums, and if he can start in 3rd position or better, he'll be very pleased, I'm sure. Possibly a little bit of lag on Duckster's car, so apologies if you suffer from motion sickness. Away to the line then for Duckster, and it's a P4. Nice time, nice improvement, nearly 3/10 for Duckster. Next up, I think we've got Don Rabico's lap, and it looked like he had a compromised run down the start-finish straight. Yeah, definitely did, but he can run again. He hasn't got time to go into the pits, but he can definitely go for this one again. And then just Phantom on an outlap. Mackett has just begun his bid for pole here. P6 currently. He got the fastest time in Q1. He'll thank cars for getting out of his way a little bit better than that. No, that's a huge lift. I don't think that's going anywhere, unfortunately, for Mackett. So top 3 are on their way out, and we've got Notsumi about halfway around the lap and about to start, but I'll definitely be watching the top 3. I think we've got Matrav first. No, Phantom is first, in fact. So let's check out what his lap is looking like. Car's not leaving it too late in the pits, which is nice to see. Spread throughout the field somewhat. Phantom, first sector. 1/10 improvement. Very much within range of a front row start here. Oh, picks up the throttle very nice and early with that downshift. Car looking very nailed on. He's got a 1/4 of a second improvement. This could trouble the 1 minute 15s tonight. Phantom right knocking on the door of the 1 minute 15s. Nice healthy chunk of apex through turn 14. 15 should be easy in the dry conditions here. Phantom then to the line. What can he do for Ferrari? It's pole on a 15.936. Beautiful lap from him. Madtrav is up the road just ahead of Jaden. Jaden, I can't see his first sector unfortunately, so we'll try and check out their second sector times at least. Madtrav will just 2 corners until we know how this lap is looking. Phantom with a provisional pole still, just on the edge there of invalidation was Madtrav. Jaden is a tiny fraction faster than he's been before. I don't know that Madtrav is, so it might be worth just staying with Jaden here, see how the lap finishes up. It's invalidating. It's an invalidation on a very odd point of the lap, as did Madtrav. Now, I'm not quite sure what happened to Jaden's lap there. That was very messy finish, and I didn't even see where he invalidated. So did he cut the corner slightly and make a mistake, or did the game take it away from him? Well, Phantom, the only member of the 1 minute 15 club, and pole position for the Ferrari driver and on medium tyres, although we may have a wet start to the race, just getting away from that advantage he's got. Mack it into the pits, everybody pitting or retiring. That's your Q3 done. Phantom with the pole position, Jaden, Madtrav and Duckster not far behind. This one should be captivating to see. The start of the race, 20 runners, as I say. Pity the bottom 10 drivers who have been sitting out for quite a while. The top 10 really in the rhythm and feeling the car. The other drivers just they're not even able to go and do some practice laps elsewhere. They have to just watch the session. Hamrick says don't retire, he's eating. So perhaps just mistiming his meal there a little bit. Phantom takes pole for Ferrari, followed by Jaden, Madtrav and Duckster. Then Wright, Mackett, Quintin, Don Rabico and Top Dog, all within 3/4 of a second of pole, with Notsumi in the 10th position for Aston Martin. Aston Martin in 9th and 10th. McLaren 6th and 7th, 6th and 8th. And the Alpines qualifying best in 2nd and 4th for your session. Lots of fast eating tips coming in for Hamrick there. And some congratulations on Phantom's lap. I wonder if Hamrick is likely to be in trouble with the chef of the meal tonight if he disappears too quickly. Wouldn't be the first time I've had drivers' sessions interrupted by being called to dinner. There's the rain, so Phantom's starting tyre will not be an advantage for him, and it's pretty heavy as well. Big puddles in the pit lane. I think we might even be starting on the full wet tyre. There's certainly what seems to be out in the garage at Mercedes. And this track absolutely transformed by the wet weather. Remember those difficult traction areas, turn 4, and up the hill into the exit of turn 7 into 8 and 9. Very, very difficult. And also turn 15 suddenly becomes a heavy lift to get the car comfortably through there. We'll take a formation lap, of course. It looks like full wets. Let's see what everybody has gone for. It is a full wet starting race, so we'll definitely see some changes onto inters or dries. I imagine there'll be an intermediate, a literal intermediate position for the drivers. Sims at the back of the grid, then in the Haas, struggling with some internet and apparently has changed position or system in order to be with us properly here. Scrolling through our drivers, all that tyre advantage gone and a complete reset for everybody. They'll be feeling their way around the track right now, but at these speeds they won't get much of an idea for where the track is good or otherwise. The puddles are all over the track. There's no dry line, of course, developing just yet. "33 laps we will have for you. Hopefully we won't see Bernd Mailander, but frankly the chances are fairly slim of avoiding a safety car tonight. Phantom will have the outside clean, such as it is, side of the track with Jaden on the inside. It's quite a long run down to the first corner, so they'll be vulnerable. And just a quick word from our sponsors, Rabico Holdings, DR Developments and Quintessential Photo and Video Works. A big thank you to them for providing what we need to go racing tonight. So Phantom on the outside, Jaden on the inside, and Madtrav just behind. May get a good tow going down towards turn 1. Keep your eyes peeled if you see something going on the stream that I've not commented on. Please let me know. I can do with all the help I can get. The only thing that they've got wrong, I think, on this Portimao track is the fact that they don't give us the view of the left-hand side of the track very easily, especially here and into turn 5. The lights are on. It's time for round 3 of the SAF1 Championship. It's lights out and very slowly and tentatively away with the drivers go. I think Jaden's got a better start here possibly, but Madtrav, no, it's actually Phantom away. Jaden defending on the inside, Madtrav getting a good wide entry, and the Alpine team up to 2nd and 4th. Can they hold on as one car is running wide? Madtrav down the inside into turn 2, obviously really gunning it and getting a great launch here, getting those tyres up to temperature. And he's going to be looking to try and make some moves. Making moves, though, is the Williams driver. Down the inside, he's going to tag the 2nd Aston Martin driver, and a gentle rubber tyres. It should be that Aston Martin get away up the hill a lot better than that, as Hamrick launching it and getting up to P11 right from the outset. We go 3 wide into the next corner, into turn 7 and 8. And wow, the drivers just having to sort themselves out there. We've got Tiago almost turning around. I think Tiago did fully turn around and get passed by the whole of the rest of the field, and is being disqualified for facing the wrong way, sadly. Tiago out already from this race, but back towards the front we see Jaden back stuck behind Duxter now, his teammate. Jaden getting a really bad start, down 2 places with his teammate getting past him, as well as Madtrav. And there's quite a train forming here behind Jaden's car. I wonder if his tyres are not quite there yet. Mackett on a good run, but Phantom leads away and is 3/4 of a second up the road from Madtrav. It looks like Jaden's starting to get some pace back, and he'll be impatient to let it get his teammate to let him on by. His teammate's got past, but really Jaden has the pace to be up there with the big 2 fighting at the head of our championship. rain lights flashing. No indicator of ERS at this stage for the drivers. It's the rain lights on. Minimal spray at the moment. Let's have a look what the car looks like in the spray from behind. Actually, we're not kicking up a lot of spray, are we? Certainly on the TCAM view. Mackett really having to counter steer his way out of the corner. So lots of those corners that were difficult in the dry become treacherous in the wet. Which obviously Viking has found out and Tiago has found out as well. Kimi struggling to settle into this championship at this stage, down in 17th, but have high hopes he'll be heading his way up the grid and getting into a rhythm. Up there he goes, getting past Hamrick, who has obviously had a stormer of a start and a pretty bad lap 2. Dropping down to P17. Perhaps he's looked down at his dinner for a mouthful of food. Madtrav half a second now behind Phantom. It's a difficult track to overtake without DRS, and in the rain you're really relying on your rival making a mistake into the corners. What's Rye got here as he goes through turn 1, just a quarter of a second back from Quintin, but it stretches out again. So Simps gets a penalty for track extension, joining Kimi, and Hamrick's gone in the pit, so I wonder if that lap was so bad he picked up damage. Dom Rabico is dropping back as well, and has got a problem coming out of turn 4. Phantom just stretching out to a second in front of Madtrav. Jaden has not been let by from his teammate, and he's seemingly getting a little frustrated about this. Just needs to settle in, and if his teammate isn't going to let him by, he needs to get super close through the next 2 corners. We have a VSC, we have Viking standing still on the track. We've got Hamrick gone on to Inters, and maybe that lack of spray has encouraged Viking to consider the Inters already. He's at the back, I think. Hamrick got the Inters on. I think Viking it was that triggered the VSC and was stationary on the track for a moment. But Jaden just losing out that VSC period, unfortunately. Rye is still very close to Mackett, but Phantom doing well out of that VSC and stretching the gap. Madtrav pulling away from the Alpine pair of Duxter and Jaden, and that's got to be doubly frustrating for Jaden, being stuck there behind his teammate. Long VSC period here as the leaders on lap 4 are approaching the same sector that the tail runners are in. I wonder if anybody will be tempted towards a change of tyre here. Of course, then no information from Hamrick's lap while they're under VSC. The wet tyres getting colder and colder. We go green finally, and Jaden staying with his teammate, trying to get by. Got a yellow flag. Is that a retirement from Viking? It is a pit side retirement for Viking. I wonder if perhaps he had some damage and didn't fancy a long night working the wheel and spinning round and round. So Jaden half a second behind his teammate. Madtrav has caught the leader considerably under that VSC. Madtrav's tyre warming is somewhat legendary already. He's got a great technique for generating enough racing heat in those tyres. No way through just yet though. You need to be so close to the driver in front without DRS to use here. I'm finding it very tough to read the race conditions at this stage. Looks like lots of rain falling, but very little spray on the track. Duxter getting a huge lift through turn 4, but that seems to be the right way to go about it. Dry line's starting to develop now, and in fact Madtrav might be just moving aside to get some cooling on the tyres. Top Dog and Calvin trading places down there in P9 and 10. Let's have a quick look, as they might well be battling pretty hard. Yeah, here we go. Calvin looking vulnerable to Simps. Simps with a big mistake, just held onto the car, and I don't know, did he press pause there to get the car back under control? seemed to ghost temporarily mid-accident, which I don't know. Is anybody else suspicious of something like that going on? It looked like a pause to help him get back on track. If so, I apologise, Simps, that you've been caught on track. Simps gets a penalty there. Get a fastest lap from Mad Trav. Now a quarter of a second back behind Phantom, but can't get by. What about Rai though? He can't get by Mackett still either, even down to 1/10 down the main straight. Such is the difficulty following another car around this track. So time to pile the pressure on. We've got pit stops going on for Quintin and Simps. Quintin's decided to gamble on the intermediates at this stage. That could be a hero move from our league owner. Right, seemingly able to live in the aero wake of Mackett quite comfortably at this stage. Putting on the pressure. Getting very, very close under braking, but perhaps too close there, and losing out again. So the first pit stops for Inters were Hamrick, and now Simps and Quintin have done the same. The Inters famously have a huge working window. They could easily go to the end of the race at this point if we're going to be sitting in these conditions for the whole time. Matrav just can't keep the gap to Phantom through turn 14, and by the time they reach turn 15, that's all she wrote for that one. What about Jaden though? I don't think he's ever been this close coming down the start-finish straight. He hasn't got the overspeed though to get up the inside of his teammate, and there's barely any braking into turn 1. It's a tough ask to overtake someone through there. In fact, Jaden getting all kinds of crossed up on the way through turn 3. Xander's retired from the session. We have a potential off-track moment there for Xander. No, he's gone into the pits, thankfully. Xander has pitted. Not sure why, but hopefully he'll let us know in the chat. And as soon as I know, I'll let you know. So we're down to 17 runners, having lost Viking and Tiago. Frankly, Quintin, Simps and Hamrick are going to need a miracle or a very well-timed safety car to rescue their races here. Lots of close gaps, but very little overtaking in these conditions. But bear with us, because as we've seen, drivers can make mistakes at any time on the track. Got a nice tight battle for P3 forming behind Duckster. And yeah, like I say, anybody can make a mistake at any point and trigger a blink and you miss it moment. Let's go back to Jaden then and see if he can't get by his teammate yet again. Madtrav has another fastest lap, but he's just not able to pass lap 8 of 33 as they were at the front. Phantom from Madtrav, Duckster and Jaden, then Mackett, Rai, Shumi, Calvin, Aimee and Kimmy, your top 10. Madtrav's got a penalty which could be very important later on. Very important. And Jaden's got a double issue here. Not only has he got to get past his teammate, but his teammate is lagging and might jump across the track unexpectedly. Really needs to let his teammate by, and I just don't understand why he's not at this point. They're obviously not in a party, or they don't have a very firm a boss with a firm hand telling them what the correct strategy is. How quick is Quintin, Simps and Hamrick circulating at the moment? I don't think they are convincing everybody that it's time to go on the Inters just yet. Duckster gets so close in the middle sector, doesn't he? But just not able to capitalise. Madtrav is within half a second of his teammate, of Phantom, sorry. Here we go then, Jaden getting a good slipstream and a massive moment for Duckster on the traction. Just loses the car, and that's made it even easier. I think Jaden may have got him anyway, but Jaden up to P3 now, and let's see what kind of pace he's got, been held up behind his teammate. Hamrick's in the pits again. Is he going to change tyres? Or, yeah, back onto a new set of inters. So I wonder if that was some damage being repaired, because it seems somewhat redundant to be making a pit stop at this point. Quintin 14 seconds back from Zardi. Let's keep an eye on that, because if that starts to drop heavily, it looks like Madtrav and Phantom trading places. Madtrav with an error in turn 5, and Madtrav was wide awake to it and got by for the lead on lap 9. Madtrav takes the lead, and Jaden takes 3rd place on the same lap. Jaden already half a second faster than Phantom. That could be complicated by the issue that that Phantom had. Madtrav obviously pushing, running very wide, and another driver goes on to inters. It's Zardi this time. The cars look so pedestrian in the wet conditions. Here, Kimi unfortunately is retired from P11, and I think that's on track. Drivers getting past him. There you can see the stationary car on the racing track. We'll see as Quintin approaches. It looks like Madtrav's decided on a pit stop, and it's a safety car because of that stranded Alpha Tauri. Where is he? He should be around this point here. There he is, and that has caused a safety car for us. So Madtrav with a great dive into the pits could well benefit hugely from that choice. Goes in before the safety car was officially announced, but during the yellow flag, and I wonder if he was able to see the track map and that there was a stationary car on the track and made that decision there. But Phantom, Jaden, Mackett and Duckster will stay out and have to circulate on the wets before they catch the safety car, which is on track already. Madtrav will comfortably catch the safety car. That's currently heading through turn 8. So Madtrav, let's just check out the penalty situation. 3 seconds for Madtrav, 6 for Simps. And in terms of position change, well, a little bit of a bogus situation here right now because of the differences in tyre pit stops. So these inters will definitely go to the end, even on drying conditions. And Madtrav in P5. Phantom, Jaden, Mackett and Duckster. I don't think the safety car had been announced as they went past the pit lane, but Madtrav gambled on it anyway. And it's paid off. He's the one on the better tyre right now, I think. Just 7 drivers remain on wet tyres out of the 16 drivers still in the race. Lap 10. Will anybody come into the pits and prefer to be on the inters? Yes, they will. The top 4 drivers all coming in the pits, and that releases Madtrav, of course, straight up there. Aimee has stayed on the wet tyres and therefore is in 2nd place. I don't know how smart that was, but we'll see. Aimee and Rai have stayed on the wet tyres, although no, Rai's finally gone in. So that's a nice buffer for Madtrav to have behind him, having Aimee there. Oh, we've got a car spearing off the racetrack in the background. That wasn't Jaden. Was that his teammate, Duckster? No, must have been a Williams of Calvin, potentially, who was off track momentarily. At least I think, yeah, it must be. It must be him. Who are the drivers getting past on the main straight there? We've got a retirement. I think it's Hamrick. Hamrick retiring on the safety car period. That's where that car was stranded. had a problem coming through turn 2-3, I think, and disappeared off into the scenery. It's not worked out for Hamrick tonight at all, has it? Back up the front, as I say, Aimee on wet tyres. Everybody else in the field now on inters. At lap 11, we're 1/3 distance through the race. And our first full safety car. We have had a VSC that lasted a fair amount of time. The car's been cleared, but we're probably waiting for that Haas of Simps to catch the field. That obviously helps Quintin, who needed a safety car to make his race work again. And he got a few cars under that safety car, pitting before the top group. Phantom dropping from 1st down to 4th. Jaden from 3rd to 5th. Calvin getting by Mackett, I think, under those conditions. And we'll go through for another safety car lap. Looks like Madtrav is just faking out the drivers behind him, or very aggressively warming the tyre. You can see that dry line developed on the track, but it's still, the rain falls, perhaps not quite as heavily as earlier on. So we will get a restart, and we can probably ignore the positions gained by Aimee, because almost certainly we'll be pitting again. At the moment, Not Shumi up 7 places is your biggest gainer, and unfortunately Rai your biggest loser of positions at this point, but the race is still young. That pit stop not going to cheer up everybody else, because it could trigger us to stay behind the safety car. Glorious looking hairpin there. Just wish there was a longer straight before it, and we might get some more overtaking. Hopefully, looks like that Haas is going to catch the safety car tail before the restart, and we should be able to get back underway. There we go. Lap 12 will be a restart lap into lap 13. Madtrav now becomes the safety car effectively and can back the field up. I really hope Madtrav will make one clear-cut move after turn 14 maybe, and not bunching the field up too much. Still warming the tyres, won't get much heat into the tyres being on the outside there in the wet, and he launches it. Oh no, he's done exactly what I hoped he wouldn't do. He pressed go and then stopped again. Madtrav away, 5-second penalty for Aimee. That should get removed because it was him who was hit from behind. Frankly, not a clean getaway there for Madtrav, and there goes Shumi, 7 up and all the way down to the back of the field now, thanks to those slightly sketchy tactics. The Williams driver trying to get Quintin here. It was Calvin, but no luck just yet, and we're going to have quite a queue form behind the wet tyre shod Aimee. Well, not for long, as Phantom breezes on by under traction alone. You can see there. And this is the camera angle I was complaining about earlier. No help whatsoever to see the moves coming in. Looks like Haas drivers on the ascendancy. Remember, they were right at the back. Not Shumi has pitted. Zardi's been passed. And Haas drivers just trading places. Jaden gets by Aimee here. Aimee's really struggling, and didn't do him any favours, did it, being on the wet tyres and giving up that pit stop opportunity. Is he planning to hold on to these tyres until he goes to dries? Still being a bit of a moving roadblock, as Calvin with a decisive move up the inside of both Quintin and Aimee, and the same one on the same move. Very nice. Quintin's put himself on the outside of Aimee here, tiptoeing round. Thankful not to get fed into the wall, but Aimee really causing a massive block here. Will he go into the pits? Because the evidence right before him is that he's very slow. Looks like the Aston Martin of Top Dog has an opportunity here to get down the inside. The Alpine driver Duckster got better grip. So is the Aston Martin driver, and Imi goes round past the pit lane once again. The rain's still falling, so I don't think it's anywhere near dry tyre range. Unfortunately, it's just not happening for Imi here at all. Just being careful not to spin other cars around at this stage. Don Rabico is in 12th and a lot further back than we are used to seeing him. But near the front, Mackett is on the hunt for the podium. Nice and close here behind Jayden. Mackett in P3. It looks like Jayden hasn't quite got the wet condition pace that he had in qualifying in the dry, but we half expecting some drier conditions later on, though whether that's just used Inter's territory seems the more likely at this stage. Lap 14 of 33. The rain is still falling. Right down here gets up the inside of Matty. Rai had a much better run through the third sector, and we finally see a few passes for position now. Just behind him, looks like Zardi getting by Don Rabico. Up at the front, Madtrav leads by 3.4 seconds, make it, and almost 2 seconds then on to Jayden with Phantom between them. Mackett in 4th with Calvin, Quentin, Duxter, Top Dog and Rai here fighting with Top Dog. Down the inside move, he's got just ahead, but it's difficult to find traction on the inside on the way out of turn 5. He's got the inside line for the next corner though, and just about holds on. Good move from Rai as he moves his way up the field. They were at the back, the Haas drivers, after the safety car, and it's definitely working for them here very nicely indeed. So Duxter 4 tenths behind Quentin, looking like the next driver to have a go. Just keeping an eye on the gaps further ahead, but this is probably one of the closest ones. Madtrav, a new fastest lap. The track obviously improving gradually, but not drastically. So the rain continues to fall. Very little spray forming still on the cars. That might just be my rendering though. It's not. It can't be taken as a definite barometer of the track conditions for the drivers themselves. Even on board, sometimes the rain doesn't render properly for spectators. Arguably, this makes for a clearer stream for us, but slightly less authentic and harder to read the conditions for us. It is a fabulous track. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too technical to get good overtaking regularly without DRS. Remember, Madtrav leads our championship from Phantom, and Mercedes and Ferrari are tied on points at the moment at the top of the headings. They both just have the one car left in the race. I think it's phase of the race where the drivers keen not to destroy their Inters too quickly. Remember, Quentin was the first one to gamble and has gained significantly from that move. He was some 14 seconds off the car in front, heading down there, I think in penultimate position at one point. Now it's a P6. Duxter is closing though on Quentin, so it looks like the difference in tyre life starting to make a gap in performance. Rai is catching the group as well, so we're going to have a three-way battle here for P6, led by Quentin, which is what we want to see. In fact, these drivers starting to catch Calvin. Oh, that's Quentin has made a mistake. Quentin out of the race. We'll just see if we can see the car is on the inside, on the exit of turn 3, and Quentin out. Sadly, Imi has been disqualified as well. So we lose 2 drivers in the space of just about 10 seconds. Quintin out, safety car again. Is this fresh inters for anybody, or are they happy where they are? Quintin obviously having to push quite hard, lost the car through that difficult turn 4, speared off to the inside, and obviously terminal damage. And just as the race was starting to settle down and we thought we knew where we stood, everything changes yet again. Madtrav just driving to a delta here, doesn't go to the pits. I don't think the drivers behind him will either. Everybody on similar age tyres, so we will take stock, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Lap 18 of 23. We see Madtrav continue to lead the race from Phantom and Jaden, then Mackett, Calvin, Duxter right. Looks like that Aston Martin just slightly too far behind at the back of the grid, so we'll go around again for another lap. I've got an update from Quentin. Said just a silly moment of oversteer, and the car just would not stop sliding. Surprised that the wheel came off with such a soft impact. His previous accident was much harder impact. I wonder if you softened up the suspension with the first impact, possibly. Anyway, he said rain and Portimao, not a good combination, and I'm sure many of the drivers will agree with that one. So we are under the safety car order. We will be back under racing conditions very soon for you. Let me have your mid-race predictions then. Will Madtrav hang on? How many drivers will make the finish of this Portuguese Grand Prix as we're losing them lap by lap? Will we get all 10 point scorers to finish? Actually, I think... Will we get the 10 normal World Drivers' Championship point scorers to finish? Simps picks up a penalty for a severe penalty with the driver hitting him from behind, presumably Zardi. So again, another penalty that could get removed if we go through without a pit stop. Penalty though for Madtrav didn't seem to worry him too much. He should be able to gap the field if his pace continues as before. Now it's about who's got their tyres up to temperature sufficiently. And Madtrav, I hope we get a better restart than last time, because we were effectively the cause of some accidents. Let's watch from Jaden's car and see when Madtrav goes. Phantom just sideways there. Madtrav taking that very wide line and taking longer to press the accelerator this time. Oh, a little bit of contact from Jaden and Phantom. Hard to avoid. There's the penalty coming in. Again, Phantom shouldn't have that one. Jaden might keep it for that contact. Jaden a little bit clumsy. warming the tyres directly behind a rival car, and it looks like Calvin's got a good slipstream, trying to put off Mackett here into turn 1. It didn't work. Duxter losing out, I think, temporarily there. No, it's not too bad. But oh dear, Duxter having a huge issue changing gear through turn 4. Very similar to the place on the track that caused a problem for Quentin. It looks like even Matty's struggling on braking into turn 5. Simp's going the long way around the outside, has made an overtake outside of the track bounds. Might be being asked to let that one by. I think in fact he is. Look, he lifted. It looks like an illegal overtake off track moment there for him. Madtrav's put 2 seconds on Phantom before the first lap is done on the restart, so that just tells you how much pace he's got. Through the hairpin of turn, where are we, 13. Drivers quite close to one another, but surprising gaps opening up with Top Dog 2 seconds behind Rye, Phantom 2 seconds behind Madtrav. Everybody else well within range of the car ahead as we head on down to turn 1 for the 21st time. 12 to go in our Portimao Grand Prix here. Right, continues his steady climb through the field. He's had some fantastic grip through this evening and showing off a lot of wet weather skill. I think the rain is starting to ease, and I think we might be heading towards dry conditions now, folks. And again, that could cause issues for the drivers as their inters start to overheat. I think we are virtually dry. It's definitely stopped raining on the cameras, at least. Where is Madtrav? He's had a problem. Madtrav tumbling down the order all the way down to P11, and just again when we thought Madtrav was going to be seeing this race out in style, he has an issue. Must have been on his own, because frankly he was so far ahead of the field. Madtrav tumbling down to P11 with a penalty as well, so that's going to cost him now. He can't regain those, he can't make up for that penalty like he was able within the lead. And here we go, battle between Wright and Calvin. Calvin desperately trying to dissuade the move. A lot of weaving going on, and Wright can't fight back. I'm not sure that weaving was strictly within the rules. Calvin stretching the steward's patience, I feel, perhaps paying for it slightly here. I would have thought Wright's going to have a better run through here. Can he launch one into turn 5 as they head down the hill? Calvin, no, he's just not close enough. Ryan not quite confident enough on the brakes, but his traction is definitely a strength at this point. As I say, we've got penalties though at the head of the field, 5 seconds each for Phantom and Jaden. I think Phantoms at least will get cancelled, but it could confuse matters towards the end of the race. And of course it can't get cancelled if they pay for it in the pits. It looks like we'll be heading towards dry conditions very soon. Who will be the first driver to guess on dries? Still looking like Rye is struggling, but I can't tell if that's because of wet conditions or because the inters are overheating. Hard for me in this seat to know that information. If I had some good telemetry, I'd be able to tell you, but I don't have that information at this available to me at this stage. It'd be great if we could have that info from the game, wouldn't it? Well, Rye now closer than before with Calvin. Right, almost there, level. He's got one wheel tucked up. It looks like a swipe across the front of the bows of Rye from Calvin, and he just held on again. Rye with a wide line through 4. Looks like Top Dog having some issues further back. Oh, and a penalty for Rye. Just pushing too hard. He's going to launch a late move down into the apex of turn 5. That should still be good traction for both cars on the way up the hill now. And Rai successfully by, but having cost himself a penalty. I think he's got the pace to clear that penalty before the end of the race in the next 10 laps. But will we see some dry tyres soon? There, DRS enabled, absolute confirmation that it is a dry track. Who blinks first though and chances it on an undercut. Soft tyres will be a slight struggle to the end, but maybe worth a risk. Certainly mediums will be perfectly safe to the end of this race. So Rai already 3/4 of a second ahead of Calvin, having got past him. Let's check out with Phantom though. No one jumping the gun with pit stops ahead of the DRS announcement. In comes Mackett from third, and like I say, he will not have to pay a penalty. Rai, Calvin, Duckster, everybody coming in. Follow my leader into the pits. And that's obviously going to be a problem for the lead two drivers. How far down the field are they going to end up, having elected to stay out of the pits after DRS was enabled? So Mackett first on the softs should get out of the pits first ahead of anybody else. Although if you're one of the lead teams in the pits, you can end up queuing behind drivers coming out to make sure we get safe releases. Rai's gone for mediums. That could be the smart choice, frankly, especially the pace he's got at the moment. But it's a voyage into the unknown on dry tyres. The softs will heat up faster, of course, than the mediums, so expect Rai to be not quite at his grip potential for a couple of laps as he brings them into temperature range, but maybe he'll be in a good position later in the race. And how much are the drivers catching the lead group? Phantom and Jaden are currently 27 to 29 seconds ahead of third and fourth places, but still finishing up that third sector. How much is that gap dropping? Not super quickly. It's just dropped to within 26 seconds now. So maybe they'll live on to make this one work. In the pits they go, down to the pit lane speed limit. Of course, both of them will serve those 5-second penalties, and this will really open the door for Mackett and Rai to get themselves on that podium tonight. Away they go then, down into the final corner. Mackett will comfortably get by the drivers in the pits at the moment, and through and past the leader he goes. So up to P1 for Mackett, and of course one of the qualifying sessions he was the lead car, so he obviously has some pace in that car tonight relative to the other drivers. Calvin is a P3, and Phantom and Jaden coming out in 4th and 5th. So they've lost the lead. They're on soft tyres. Rai still on those mediums. Everybody now trying to get this car to the end of the race. Calvin with the fastest first sector so far, gunning for fastest lap, and this is the moment where you're most likely to get those fastest laps. Currently that sits with Madtrav, as you'd expect, 25.835 in wet conditions though. So this is the first dry lap on new dry tyres for many of the drivers, so expect lots of fastest lap notifications. Tiago complaining that the disqualification for turns 7 and 8 needs to be fixed badly from Codemasters. I'm sure he'll have a lot of agreement from seasoned drivers, of course. Not one I've come across, unfortunately, myself, but I don't get a lot of time to drive. Mackett, fastest lap, first off. Then Rai. Will it be Calvin next? No, not quite. So Rai on medium tyres getting the fastest lap against lots of these soft runners. That's impressive. Impressive stuff from him. Madtrav with a new one, 20.5. Wow, that's massively quicker than anybody else at this stage. On a bit of a comeback kick is Madtrav, P9 currently. And of course Phantom is well within range of overtaking his championship lead as things stand. I think Don Rabico is closing in on Matty here. Go back to interval so we can see who's catching whom. So Don Rabico getting the car comfortably through the corners. He's got a lot of grip, but he's going to start suffering from dirty air as well. Phantom is catching Calvin here, and this could derail Rye's attempts to gap the field. Phantom going to the outside, and he's now going to try and deal with Calvin's defensive tactics, but with DRS that should make life a little bit easier for the chasing car, and I think we're going to have a bit of a bonza group of overtaking in this final 6 laps. 3-second penalty for Calvin, weaving all over the track, and that's going to be helpful to the drivers following behind him. Yellow flag in sector 1, but the cars are still moving, so hopefully they will continue. Simps, I think it might have been causing that one. Down in P11 now. Another yellow flag for Simps again, and I think that's just struggling to get the tyres back underneath him and in a good condition to go racing. Mackett leads on lap 27 by 1.7 seconds from Rye. Then Calvin, Rye has a penalty as well. Calvin, who also has a penalty at this stage, just ahead of Phantom. I think that's going to change pretty quickly when they get to the start-finish straight. Phantom closing. Just needs to deal with this final corner safely. He's got a good slipstream. This should be comfortably past Calvin here. Calvin in the middle of the road. The Ferrari going to the outside of the Williams driver. Sweeps round. Job done. And into the podium position now. If he can get within 3 seconds or stay within 3 seconds of Rye, he'll be on for a second place here. Simps, a 10-second time penalty. Are we about to see a retirement? You will get points for finishing the race here in SAF1. Each driver gets a bonus 2 points for finishing. So well worth staying on track. But if you've got to a frustration point that Simps must be very close to, you feel might be a good idea to pack it in for the day. Simps slipping back further. Clearly really struggling with the car. I wonder if he damaged it earlier. We've got battle brewing, Jaden and Calvin. I think we might end up with the cream rising to the top through this one. Mackett, Rye, Phantom, Jaden. Oh, there we go. There's an Haas off the track just at the wrong time for Calvin, who is going to get past, I think, fairly easily here from the Alpine. DRS line was right there. There goes the overspeed. You can get a great idea of the speed difference that the DRS makes. They were almost level prior to the DRS. And Jaden up to P4 then. But penalties are definitely going to start complicating matters. Madtrav is in 7th now, making it up the grid. How far can he climb before the end of this race, I wonder. Purple sector for Jaden here as he hunts down Phantom, and this could be good news for Wright, who wants that 3-second gap. So just remember that Top Dog and Rye, the only medium runners here, but the penalties are definitely where it's at in terms of important information for us at the end of this race. Mackett leads comfortably, driving clean from Rye, who has a 3-second penalty. 1.9 seconds further back it's Phantom with no penalties, and then we've got Jade and Calvin have collected some penalties through this session. I don't know for sure whether Jaden's will get scrubbed, but I think any optional penalties through safety cars have been paid for now on the switch to dry tyres, so we can call the race as the game calls it, and I'll correct it next week if needs be after the stewards' inquiries. So Jaden now very close to Phantom on the road. Matty closing in on Dom Rabico here. Not quite close enough to make a move. Madtrav not getting ahead of this group super easily. He's gapping them at reasonable rate, but I don't know how many more places he'll make up in the next 3 laps that we've got left of this race. It's definitely getting tight here at the front. Jayden and Phantom battling out for a podium on the road at least. We've seen drivers from the very lead of the race, with everything going to plan, falling off this racetrack. It's very, very easily done. So despite the quality of the drivers, it's certainly very difficult circuit to manage under the changing conditions and dropping of tyre grip. So Jayden just losing the initiative slightly against Phantom there. Now 8 tenths back from Phantom. Catching back using the DRS, but nowhere near an overtake, unfortunately. What about Matty? Can he make any headway on Don Rabico's McLaren ahead? Don thinks so, because he's defending and weaving. Not particularly smooth line down the start-finish straight from him. No way through this time, but there's only 2 laps left to try anything, and really that means four overtaking opportunities. Down into turn 5 here, and into turn 1. So the opportunity is definitely dropping off. Madtrav is 3 seconds away from Duckster. He may get him, but I think it's going to be a difficult reach to get there, especially with another 3 seconds of penalties. The best he can do is kind of consolidate this 7th place, I think, and take home the points after a very uncharacteristic and disappointing exit from the lead. Jayden continues round in the hunt for Phantom. Both these cars now within range, well, Phantom's within range of Rye's penalty. Mackett definitely looks to have this under control at this point. Coming up to lap top dog, Simps having already been lapped. Yellow flag in sector 1. That looks like Phantom with a mistake, temporarily ghosted, but Phantom, it looks like, dropping down, so that is huge for the podium and for the championship. Phantom is behind Madtrav. Wow. Well, it's nice to have different drivers on the podium, but what a shame for Madtrav and Phantom, both making massive errors to drop them off the podium positions. That really does bring Rye well into contention here to stay in his 2nd place, and just 1 complete racing lap to run, and it's drama right to the end here at SAF1's round 3 in Portugal. I hope you've hit that subscribe and like button. If you haven't, do it now, and follow us as well on socials. You can find me if you want to book me for next season. You can find me on Twitter at WebORed5, and you find my other live streams broadcast there between 6 and 8 times a week at the moment. So Rye is closing actually now as the tyre differential starts to show. He doesn't fancy the win on the road, does he? I'm sure he does, but little point risking it. Matty is closing on Dumrabico. This is the last best opportunity to get the move done. It's just too far away, just too far behind. So looks like the Haas is closing at the front, but not close enough. Rye should be good for that 2nd place now that we've had a problem. Oh, we've got a Red Bull. We've got Matty retiring on the final lap. Matty, the final lap of the race, Matty retires, and will we see exactly where it's all gone wrong? It's turn 4 again. Turn 4, the Ascari of Portimao, it seems, tonight. Where is he? He's on the inside, losing the car under traction like everybody else does through there. Matty out of the race, and will pick up no points despite completing 32.5 laps expertly. Unfortunately, that doesn't count for anything. Mackett just half a second away, but Mackett will take the win in Portugal for round 3. Rye joins him on the podium, followed by Jayden, and that'll be a popular one, especially with the fastest lap at the end. But it was just beaten, I think. Was it just beaten by Madtrav? Let's have a quick look. No, Jayden holds that fastest lap on the final lap. P5, Madtrav recovering to 6th. Phantom likewise to 7th. Don Rabico in 8th. Not Shumi in 9th place, just about to cross the line. Zardi will come home 10th. And I don't know if Simps will actually get by Matty on the final order. He's been lapped, so question mark over that one. As he comes across the line there, Zardi, Top Dog, is a long way back. Looks like Simps about to cross the line now, so Matty might get a classified finish for finishing ahead of a car still running. I don't know the rules intricately enough to answer that one. Maybe the boss can let me know either on the stream or on Discord. Will Matty qualify for points after getting a finish ahead of a lapped driver, completing more laps than someone still running? Top Dog will finish this one off, but it's a brilliant win for Mackett tonight. Didn't always look on, but it made it count, and a zigzagging kind of manoeuvre from the Aston Martin driver to finish off the race, attempting to do it in style. Driver of the day given to Calvin for places gained, I assume. I'm going to be asked to pick a driver of the day, and that's going to be very, very difficult. Well, here is Mackett with the win, lifts the trophy for McLaren. Brilliant stuff for Mackett there. Sprays the champagne, and we've got a Haas driver right in second, and Jaden picks up third place and pops the champagne down, poses for the cameras, and we'll take you through the final order. I know that that the boss Quintin is busy organising some interviews. I don't have time for many, so let's not invite everybody. Apparently it's raining again at the track, so that's questionable. Mackett from 6th on the grid to win the race for McLaren, keeping his head when others failed to. Rai from 5th on the grid up to 2nd, but with some very impressive passes and a very clean set of heels he drove with there. Duxter beats Jaden to the podium after those penalties. So Duxter was the Alpine driver on the podium after the penalties were taken into account. From 4th on the grid, Calvin from 11th up to 4th place, then Jaden down, Madtrav down, Phantom down, all down from their starting positions. Don Rabico in 8th, Not Shumi in 9th, Zardi in 10th, Top Dog with 11th place. Matty, question mark whether he gets points for this one, and Simps, the final finisher, in 13th. Unfortunately, Quintin himself it was. We lost in the Red Bull out of turn 4. We lost Aimee, Hamrick, Kimi, Xander, Viking, and Tiago. But Mackett, I don't know. I need a word from our assistant in the comms box as to who's managed to successfully join or not, and whether they've selected the audio settings set to share under broadcast settings ready for us. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to argue with Calvin. I am going to argue with Calvin's driver of the day. I think I'm going to probably give it to Duxter actually for those for moving up the field and driving cleanly and benefiting from the penalties of other drivers. Mackett gets the win. Mackett is just joining the party now. Say hello when you're here.
Let's go!
Congratulations, Mackett. That looked like a tough night at a racetrack.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I practiced probably like 2 hours today, and I mean, this is my first win in a couple seasons, man, and I'm really happy. Even like the guys on the podium as well, two of my closest friends. Like, oh, this means a lot, man.
Brilliant stuff. You had pace in one of our Q sessions, but not the one that counted. So you had to get a lot of passes done on the track. Did you make any overtakes, or were you just doing better strategies and getting by drivers who were making their own mistakes?
I think it was more of just consistency. A lot of drivers ahead of me made mistakes, getting on the power too early in the wet, stuff like that. Strategy as well. I mean, switching onto the softs at the right time. Luckily, the DRS went on just as I was about to pass the pit lane, so I could dive in, and that's how I got past Phantom, and not sure who the other guy was, but yeah, that's how I got past it.
No, it was good stuff. It was a very commanding and confident drive. Looked like you were under control most of the time. Any sort of hairy moments or Code Brown moments for you?
Last 3 laps, because David, SAF1 Ray was catching me quite a bit because my front left was overheating. I should have actually put it for mediums. But yeah, that was a bit stressful. But anyways, GG, the wins, yeah.
Well, brilliant stuff. And thanks for stopping by. Congratulations on a great win in round 3. Ray, am I pronouncing that right, or is it Ray?
Ray.
Ray, excellent stuff. Yeah. Well, congratulations. A really, really good drive. I think you can be pleased with that one. You made some great overtakes as well tonight.
Yeah, very eventful race. I made a couple errors, but it's just one of those races. Like, I didn't really practice much either. I practiced with my kit, say, 2 hours before the race. So as me and Maki were at the party, we were just like, we just hoped that we could finish in the top 5. But when it came to like the last couple laps, we were just trying to keep our heads. So yeah, I haven't raced in a while either, so it's a good comeback.
Definitely. And yeah, have you enjoyed the racing or the qualifying at all tonight? Or have you just been sweating it out and gritting your teeth?
I mean, qualifying is just never my thing. Like, I don't know what it is. I can just never put a lap together. But my race pace always tends to be pretty decent. So I don't like today. I think it's probably one of my better drives that I've done in a while. So. And it surely wasn't expected considering how much practice I put in, but I'm happy with the result. So. Yeah,
good stuff. Well, congratulations, and hopefully it's the first podium of more to come.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Duckster, I think you made it into the press conference. Is it Duckster or Dukester?
Anything you want, it's fine.
Anything I want. Okay, well, congratulations. You've managed to get yourself up to P3 tonight after those penalties were paid by Calvin and Jaden. And I'm going to go ahead and give you my driver of the day for that one.
Grande. I'm happy. That is great. I agree. I'm driver of the day. Now, first of all, congratulations to the 2 other clowns on the podium. 2 of my closest friends. So, congratulations, Mackett, Tossen. Yeah, I don't know. It was a tough race in the rain, but I guess consistency, like Mackett said, was the best way to go about things.
Definitely. Yeah, there was a questionable moment at the start of the race. I felt as if perhaps Jaden might have been getting a little bit impatient behind you. What was going on in the Alpine team chat on the radio?
The rain, I couldn't hear the radio. I couldn't hear what they were saying there. So I just kept doing what I was doing, making mistakes on the way. But yeah, I knew you couldn't get past because of the no DRS. So. Yeah, it was difficult.
Definitely. Well, hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems in the debrief afterwards or in the team chat.
Yeah,
we'll see if you can sort yourselves out later in the season.
I
anyway,
might have to raise something up with the stewards. Rai overtook me during the safety car period. And I'm just feeling a bit. I'm just saying. I might.
Good stuff. Well, I didn't catch it on stream as far as I'm aware. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if the stewards lean your way on that one.
Yeah, I hope they're listening. I just feel like Ryan's a bit shivery in the party here.
Well, good stuff, Dirkster, and congratulations on a podium tonight. And at least, if it counts for anything, my drive of the day. I don't know if Quintin will agree, but that'll be my recommendation anyway. Congrats, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Well, I hate to do this, guys, but I'm going to have to rush off. Really enjoyed the race tonight, and thanks for everyone for your engagement. Thanks to Quincy for running the league and keeping everybody on their toes, and everyone's patience, of course, with the lobby issue at the start. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Tim into the commentary box from next week. But I've been Webbo, and I will catch you on the next race day.